Hello viewers, welcome to the new video. In our previous class, we discussed about pollination procedure. They are of two types, self-pollination and cross-pollination. In today's class, we read about after pollination procedure, how pollen and pistil is interacted. We all know that pollen is generated here in the anther lobe, and this is called pistil, and the head part of pistil is known as stigma. So, after pollen generated from the anther lobe, they perform their function in two steps. First one is germination of pollen, and second one is elongation of pollen tube. So, first we discuss about how pollen is germinated. After generation of pollen from the pollen lobe or anther lobe, pollen come to stigma part. Here, different type of proteins secreted from pollen's outer surface. And this part means stigma part also secrete different type of protein, starch, lipid. You have to remember that pollen part secrete only protein, but stigma part secrete protein, starch and lipid together. So after that, pollen pistil interaction performed, thus compatible pollens are identified by stigma. Now what is compatible pollen? Means which are capable to fertilize the ova, which is present in the ovary, that is known as compatible pollen. So after identification of pollen which is compatible, starch and humidity of stigma causes germination, means allow the pollen enter into the style. Formation of pollen tube when intine is perforated through germinal pore. Intine means the wall of pistil. So pollen enter through stigma, through pollen tube. Pollen tube is generated from a pollen. Elongation of pollen tube is the second procedure. After formation of pollen tube, through this pathway, reaction performed between pectinase of pollen tube. Pectinase is secreted from pollen tube. This is not pollen tube. Pollen tube is generated from the pollen, and calcium, boron, inositol, sugar complex of style. So style secrete calcium, boron, inositol and sugar complex, and pollen tube which is generated from the pollen part secrete pectinase. They are reacted together, and then pollen tube is elongated through ovule. Thus pollen pistil interaction is complete. So the interaction is dependent on two procedures. First is germination of pollen, means before elongation of pollen tube, the process is known as germination, and after that elongation of pollen tube through the secretion which is secreted by pollen tube and the secretion secreted by the style part, and then pollen tube is elongated through style and up to ovary, and pollen pistil interaction is completed here. Now in previous we discussed about compatibility, means which pollen is capable to interact with ova, means fertilize the ova. Now what is incompatibility? Incompatibility is the just antonyms of compatibility. Due to pollen pistil interaction, unwanted pollens from other plant species are not capable to germinate and they are removed by stigma. They are known as incompatible pollen. They are from other plant species and they are unwanted, means they cannot fertilize the ova which is present in ovary. Incompatibility is of two types, intraspecific and interspecific. Intraspecific means plants are from same species, but one flower's pollen is incapable to germinate others. Intra means same species plant, but one plant's flower or one plant's flower's pollen is incapable to pollinate the other flower of the same species plant. And another one is interspecific, that means plants are from different species, so pollen pistil interaction not performed. You think that the pollen of mango plant cannot fertilize the ovary of lychee plant. This is interspecific. But the pollen of mango plant of one species, such as Mangifera indica, but the pollen cannot fertilize the same species, means another Mangifera indica's flower, that is intraspecific. Intra means into the same species and interspecific means different species. So different species means not capable to interact between pollen and pistil. This is pollen pistil interaction. After pollen and pistil interaction, next procedure is fertilization. Here is the stigma part. These are pollens and this is pollen tubes. It is style and through it pollen tubes is elongated. After elongation of pollen tube, the nucleus, here is the nucleus. Here also a nucleus is present. This nucleus comes through pollen tube. Firstly, the nucleus is divided into two offspring nucleus. First one is generative and second one is tube nucleus. Generative nucleus and tube nucleus. This generative nucleus is further divided into two parts. First one is male gamete and next one is also male gamete. Means generative nucleus is divided into two male gametes and tube nucleus also comes through it. So after pollen pistil interaction, pollen tube is generated. They are also pollens and here is the elongative form of pollen tubes and this pollen tubes is already formed. I draw here only one pollen tube. This nucleus comes through pollen tube and first this nucleus is divided into two parts. First one is generative nucleus and second one is tube nucleus. This generative nucleus is further divided into two gametes, means two male gametes which are haploid in nature. After generation of male gamete, means these two, the elongated pollen tube is entered into the ovary. This is ovary. This is egg and this is embryo sac. The total portion is known as embryo sac. If elongated pollen tubes enter through micropyle, means through this portion, this is called micropyle, then this is known as porogamy. If the elongated pollen tube is entered through chalaza, this portion is known as chalaza. It comes through this pathway and go through this way, then it is known as chalazogamy. If pollen tube break the integument portion of embryo sac, then it is known as embryo polygamy or mesogamy. Means the pollen tube come through this way, break this integumentary part and enters through this portion. This is known as mesogamy. Any one procedure is followed, either porogamy or chalazogamy or mesogamy. So, after entering the male gametes are attached with the egg portion. This is egg. This is two male gametes, and the tube nucleus is destroyed. After entering the male gamete into the ovary or ova, total 8 nucleus or total 8 haploid nucleus is present. Which are they? Two synergids. They are present with egg. One is definitive nucleus and 3 more are antipodal cells. Synergids are the helping cells. And this is definitive nucleus. This is the only nucleus which is diploid in number, means 2n. Other 7 nucleus are all haploid in number, that is n. After that, these two male gametes, either one of them, either it or it, fertilize the egg. If one male gamete fertilizes the egg and other male gamete is destroyed, then it is known as single fertilization or normal fertilization. But if one male gamete fertilizes the one egg and other male gamete fertilize the definitive nucleus, then it is known as double fertilization. Single fertilization means one male gamete fertilize one egg, that is known as zygote formation or oospore formation. But if the male gamete also fertilize the definitive nucleus, then endosperm is formed, and here it is the number n and this is 2n, so total 3n. So endosperm is always 3n in nature, means triploid in nature. You have to remind it that definitive nucleus is 2n, means diploid, and other alls are n, means haploid. And if endosperm is formed, means fusion of one male gamete and definitive nucleus, then it is 3n, means triploid in nature. So here is the fertilization of flowering plant, and the double fertilization procedure is discovered by scientist Navasin in Lilium plant in the year 1898. After fertilization procedure means after fertilization of ova and pollen, this procedure is formed in dicot plant. Dicot means which have two cotyledon in single seed, such as peas. They have two cotyledon in single seed. So pollen and ova means male gamete and ova fertilized, thus oospore is formed. This oospore is divided horizontally. Two cells is formed. One is suspensor cell, which I notify with yellow color, and another one is embryo cell. This two type of cell is went to another cell division. The upper part means suspensor cell is further divided and formed eye shape. They are divided horizontally, but the embryo cells are divided longitudinally. Then the suspensor shell, the upper part, is known as hostorial cell. They help in sucking the nutritious juice from the ovary portion, and the embryo cells are going to further division. First they form quadrant. Here 4 cells, that's why they are called quadrant. After that, quadrant further divided into 8 cells. Here is 8 cells, that's why it is called octant, in which this upper 4 formed hypocotyle, and this lower 4 is formed cotyledon. From the 4 we got 2 cotyledon. That's why this type of plants is known as dicot plants. After this structure is formed. Here suspensor cell is in same condition. The uppermost cell of suspensor cell is known as hostorial cell. I mentioned the function of hostorial cell in previous, that is helping the cells to suck the nutritious juice from the ovary sac. The lowermost cell of suspensor cell formed the root tip. After that, the embryo cell is going to further division. The outer surface of embryo cell formed meristem, into which this cell formed ground meristem, and inner cells from procambium. The uppermost cells, these 2 cells, form hypophysis. This is the development of dicot plant, and this shape further in heart shaped. Or in the shape of foot of horse. Embryo is developed, and this cell is continuously destroyed or dried further. So first oospore is formed, then it is divided horizontally. Upper one is a suspensor cell and the lower one is embryo cell. The lower one divided longitudinally and form 4 cells, that is quadrant, and the suspensor cell is divided into horizontally. Upper part or bulb-like projection of suspensor cell is known as hostorial cell. This is further divided horizontally, and the quadrant cell divided into total 8 parts. So they are called octant. Upper 4 formed hypocotyle and lower 4 formed cotyledon. These 2 form one cotyledon and these 2 form another cotyledon. 2 cotyledons are present, that's why they are called dicot plant. The lower portion of suspensor cell form root tip, and this is hostorial cell. Outer surface cells form meristem. Into it, these cells form ground meristem, and the inner cells form procambium or cork portion of the plant. When embryo is developed, then these cells are destroyed and new cells are evolved. This is the development procedure of dicot plant. This is the development procedure of monocot plant. This is oospore, again divided into suspensor and terminal. Here you also call that is embryo cell, but also called terminal cells. Then again they are further divided. This is haustorial cell as well as dicot plants. And here upper portion cells means suspensor cell divided horizontally and the terminal cells divided longitudinally. Here again octane formed 8 cells. Outer surface cells form plumule and these cells form cotyledon. Here one cotyledon is present, that why is called monocot plant. After that this structure is formed. Here the brown color notified the coleoptile. This portion is scutellum, the outer surface of seed. This is cotyledon, this is radicle, and this is coleorhiza, the lower portion of the seed. Here is the structure where scutellum, coleoptile, radicle and coleorhiza is present. You have to remind the position of this. Scutellum is in upper position and coleorhiza is in lower position. Haustorial cell function same as dicot plant. And cotyledon formed from the terminal cell. Here is the development of embryo in monocot plant. Next we come to endosperm, means different type of endosperm. We found that endosperm is formed due to the fusion of male gamete and definitive nucleus, and endosperm is 3N, means triploid in nature. There are 3 types of endosperm: nuclear, cellular and halobial. This is nuclear. First you see the structure. This is nuclear endosperm. This is cellular endosperm. And this is halobial endosperm. Nuclear endosperm has nucleus and they are not very dense form, means they have intercellular space. Cellular endosperm is just another form of nuclear endosperm, but in case of halobial endosperm is just different. Let's see the process of formation of different type of endosperms. Let's see the nuclear endosperm. First, triploid endosperm is formed. This is one nucleus. This nucleus is continuously divided into offspring nucleus and they are free in nature. After that, this free nucleus come to the wall of endosperm and a big vacuole formed into the cell. See, the nuclears are not separated with nuclear wall. After formation of nucleus, they are covered with the nuclear wall and proper cell is formed. This is the nuclear endosperm. If we found cellular endosperm, see the same triploid nucleus or triploid endosperm. This nucleus is further divided, but here nucleus is surrounded with cell wall from the first time and here no vacuole is present, and then these proper cells engulf the total embryo sac. This is the main difference between nuclear endosperm and cellular endosperm. Nuclear endosperm form a vacuole and cell wall or nuclear wall is not formed from the beginning. But in case of cellular endosperm, nuclear cell wall is derived from the beginning and there is no vacuole is present. Nuclear endosperm we found in Primula, Mangifera, Malva, this type of plants, and cellular endosperm we found in Balsam, Datura, Petunia, this type of plants. After that we come to halobial endosperm. Here is a triploid cell or endosperm. This is first divided horizontally. Upper part is the micropyle part and lower part is chalaza part. The micropyle part is divided just like cellular cell. Nucleus is divided but it is not covered with cell wall properly, and chalaza cell is divided again horizontally. Then the portion of micropyle nucleus is divided through cell wall just like the cellular endosperm, but chalaza part is not divided further. They are divided few times, then the division is stopped, but the micropyle cells are continuously divided and form the proper embryo. Here is the different type of endosperms which are found in plants, means dicot and monocot plants. And halobial endosperm we found in Asphodilus species. Asphodelus, Asphodilus species. We found the halobial endosperm. Here it is. Go through the video. If you have any question, then comment below. See you in the next session.